Earnestly podcast here, old friend Boston Jack. It's been a couple years actually. It's been a podcast. What's up, bud?
Yeah, a couple of years since we've done the football thing. Yeah,
Yeah. How you doing? You
doing
look great.
great.
You look great. I saw you. Well, it's funny. You haven't been in a podcast in a long time,
Yep.
and then I
Oh,
and then I haven't seen you probably longer than that. Probably since 2000. Shit.
long time.
16, 15, maybe. Yeah, but we
Six,
always,
7
we always keep in
years.
touch, obviously. But
Right.
yeah. And then we ran into each other at the Fall Boy concert. I went with my
Yes.
family back in
Yeah.
July.
Yep. July.
So that was kind of awesome, man. So how you doing?
Good. I gave you the bear hug.
Yes, you
I don't
surprised
give
that?
out. I don't give out bear hugs to just anybody.
That's true.
I think just you.
Yeah. No, it's funny because I remember when first I know you were going to the show. Number one,
Mhm.
I happened just to post on Facebook that day, like, "Hey, listen, we're going to the concert," and he's like, "Oh, we're here," and then your Jr. was there, your son was there too as well, and your grandson was there as well too, and it was like, "Oh, let's meet up," and then
Yeah.
like I figured, okay, we'll figure it out, and then I don't know where you ran into me like, "Oh shit, it's Jack, what's up?"
Yeah. Yeah.
So
They
how you
had that
been?
delay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing great. Doing great.
Yep. So we want to do this podcast because you guys know this is the show for the last 12 years. Jack's one of the regulars, been on the show many times over the last 12 years, and he's a massive YouTube fan. You are going to Vegas Thursday?
Yeah, we're leaving Thursday morning.
And what show you going? Are you going to the first show or
We're going to the first show on Friday. We have club level seats for that, and then we're going to the Saturday show, and we're going to do general admission.
So
And
okay. So you're seeing the first two shows at this new venue called the Sphere in Las Vegas.
yes,
There's a new venue opening up now. Is this the first event happening there at the Sphere?
yes,
Wow, you're getting the grand opening thing.
yes.
Holy shit!
I mean, no one else has been in there, and I mean, they've had the outside of it all lit up to show various things like basketballs, tennis balls,
Mhm.
an eyeball, and all sorts of funky things.
Yeah.
But this will be the first event inside this sphere.
So I saw some stats on this. This thing cost $2.3 billion to make.
Yeah.
This thing also seats 18,600 people. And I
Yep.
saw the layout. I went to the website like a little while ago before I came on here, and for the YouTube shows, and pretty much every show was sold out but one. I think the third one still has tickets left, but there's not much tickets left. Tickets start at $14.50. That's from what I saw. That is insane.
And then you got to get there, and then you got to stay there,
Yeah,
and you got to eat there.
and you got to gamble probably if you want to gamble. I don't know if
It's
you
been
want to
known to
gamble.
it's been known to happen.
I almost want to ask how much you pay for these fucking tickets because I know you and JR are massive YouTube fans, massive. So this is nothing for you guys, obviously, because this is your favorite band in the whole world. So, um, dude, what made you want to do this though? You've seen YouTube many times over in the past, but what made you want to do this though?
This is a JR thing that he easily coaxed me into going. I think he was allowed to go because he convinced his wife that he would be well looked after with his dad.
Well, it's one of his dad, so yeah, that makes
So
sense.
I saw, but I can't for the life of me figure out how he sold this to the missus. He just became a dad. His newborn is 8 months old.
Third kid, right? Oh,
Yes,
third kid, right?
yes. So the
Yeah.
fact that she's letting him go, I guess I should take it as a compliment that she trusts me enough to look after her husband.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's your kid. I mean, what he's gonna do? I mean, you're a conservative guy. I mean, you're not gonna go out and go to strip clubs and all this crap. You're a
Well,
solid guy.
he is my son. He won't admit it, but he did inherit my sense of humor. And when I was over there earlier tonight, the words "bunny ranch" came out of his stupid mouth. Like, why would you even say that to your wife? Even joking around. Shut up. So already we're like,
So you've been a fan of YouTube what since the beginning, 82, 83?
my first year of college would have been 80, the fall of 82. And I remember hearing them, and they were like nothing else I'd ever heard of.
Of course.
They they were just like, what is this? And I think they had a song that was in a movie, an obscure movie from the late 70s, early 80s called The Last American Virgin.
Mm-hmm.
And the song I Will Follow was in that movie. And I had never heard anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, who are these guys? And then I think, the, so I listened to I Will Follow and Gloria. And I'm like, okay, so they sound different. And then they came out with the War album. And to this day, New Year's Day, for the past 40 years, New Year's Day remains my favorite song ever.
Is it really New Year's Day?
New
Oh,
Year's Day. I
actually,
hear that.
I should know that because actually, when you first came on my podcast back in 2011, I played that song actually as the intro to that episode.
Did
You
you?
and actually, in fact, it was you and Jr. that came out. You came to my house at the time,
Right.
back when, and we did that show in studio, and it was actually dubbed. It was actually named the Alexanders, the last names, of course. And but I remember playing the intro of that episode. I played the. This is all also back then where before I was getting copyright strikes to play music on there, but I played that song on the intro, the opening of the episode. I gotta find an episode somewhere in my hard drive. Actually, now I think about that.
Well, being a bass player, you should really appreciate that opening.
Yep, absolutely.
It's
It's
a
a great
class,
song.
and you can probably do it, right?
Oh yeah, it's easy. No,
It's
no
easy,
offense to YouTube, but a lot of their music, at least from a bassist point of view,
right?
fairly easy. Fairly easy.
Easy, but so catchy. I mean
But
that
catch,
that
but it sucks you in. Like, I'm not the fan like you guys are, but I definitely love you too. I mean, I definitely love the I would say I'm probably still a big Joshua Tree guy, if anything.
can't go wrong with that album. It's their biggest album, bestseller.
Is it
Two
a
number
bestseller? Is it really the bestseller album of all? Still?
two number one hits off that album, so it's hard to top that.
What's funny, like it's funny because like how I got to that album and learned about U2 actually was through the Grammys that year when they won Album of the Year.
Yeah, the
Because
Grammys love them.
well, the Grammys loved that, and the acts they were going against that year too, especially you're talking about the biggest acts in history of music, and that's what got my attention.
Yeah.
Because of course my favorite Michael Jackson, the Bad Album was up for Album of the Year that year.
Mhm.
You had Prince sign the Times on that as a nominee.
Mhm.
I believe Whitney Houston's second album was also up for Album of the Year that year as well too. So you had all those acts. You talk about three of the biggest acts in history of music against U2.
And ironically, they're all deceased.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Sad.
very sad. And so I remember when I saw him, I was like, Mike didn't win. What the fuck? Who's U2? And
Who's
then
U2?
so my mom, to her credit, my mom actually that year taped the Grammys that year too. She taped the entire show because that was
Mhm.
Billy Crystal's hosting a show and Michael's performing on that show too as well. So that we kept it for that, obviously. But I got fascinated by YouTube because I was like, who is this band? How many years are they that good? Sure
Yeah,
enough,
I mean, they made their mark at the Live Aid concert,
of course,
and they started catching everybody's attention. Even Frank Sinatra, I mean,
yeah,
recorded with them. I mean, Frank Sinatra is on record as saying that the Edge, he's the guy whose guitar sounds like an orchestra. I mean, when you get
yeah.
that kind of a compliment from Frank, you're reaching a broad audience.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was through that Grammys '88 situation that I started to get fascinated, and I became a fan pretty quickly. It's like, wow, these guys are actually really good. And honestly, I defend that for that time 22 also U2 was fresh. And I think that's why they won that Grammy that year too, because they were the fresher act at that point. And I think that's why the Grammys went that route because they brought something a little different to the table at that time. And I think obviously it is the biggest album they've ever done. But yeah, since then I've been a pretty big fan of those guys. I in fact there's still a bucket list of mine in terms of I still haven't seen them live yet. And every time I have I they come down around here, I either forget to go or don't think about it until after the fact. I'm like, so I need to see these guys before they hang it up. I don't know how much longer I have left in the tank, but
Yeah, after this, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to top this, but I would like to see them again after this when they bring their drummer back. The original drummer is not going to be doing the shows.
Oh, he's not doing any shows. What happened?
No, he had some sort of back surgery.
Oh,
So
how old's Bono? These guys now, like in the '60s?
early 60s. I think the drummer Larry's actually the youngest one, and I guess he just had some medical issues with his back. And he did the video. They did a video a couple weeks ago on Fremont Street, and Larry popped up. First
Hmm.
time anyone's seen or heard from him in years, and he was in Vegas, so he's at least he's alive. He's in Vegas with the
Hmm.
band, and that was encouraging to see him, banging on the drums. They did the song like 6 or 7 times, so
Hmm.
he's capable of doing that. So
Yeah.
me and Jay are hoping that he makes a surprise appearance in Las Vegas, but we were told not to expect that.
Right.
That
Right.
they'll have this other drummer that they got, some European guy. I know his name, but I've been calling him Sven von Schwenberg. I don't even know his name, but
Well,
we'll see. Hopefully, he can pull it off.
well, look, if Metallica can play in their 60s and still tour, now I mean, look, their tour schedule is a little different. They play weekends and days off in between those days. If they could pull off, doing shows still in their 60s, and that's actually heavier music and actually harder music to play physically because of the time they do. If the Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger is 80 now, and they're
Yeah,
still touring.
yeah.
U2 has more in the tank. I'm sure.
No, I have no doubt they can pull off the energy and the music. I mean, it's their music, but the one thing that kind of concerns me is the last release that they put out, the Songs of Innocence, where they did their own songs, where Bono did their own songs, kind of an acoustic,
Okay.
different type of version. I mean, I'm a lifelong U2 fan. That album was just garbage.
You shout. I remember you telling you shouting that record.
Oh my God. So if they do anything that resembles that, oh, I mean, I'm optimistic that they're going to put on a U2 show. But if they dip into this um, Songs of Innocence
Hmm.
stuff, and they try and do stuff that way, where they slow it down, they go too acoustic. My son and I are not acoustic fans.
Right.
We
So
want,
they're doing 25 dates, right?
yeah,
Okay. Is there a theme to this
yes.
residency?
It's the 30th anniversary of Octung Baby.
Okay.
So they're going to do the
1993.
Octung, like they did the Joshua Tree a few
Right.
years back, and then now it's Octung Baby's turn at 30, and they're going to do the complete album. And that's one of the
Interesting.
things. That's one of the things we're trying to figure out. What's going to be their song list other than the Octung Baby, and what's going to be the opening song? And we have some ideas. We have some thoughts of what it could be, what it should be, what it might be, what we hope it isn't. Um, I mean, we're thinking that City of Blinding Lights is perfect for Vegas.
Wait. So is that all they're doing for the 25 dates? They're only doing this album. That's it, or they're going to do that and then probably other stuff around the album.
Well, I mean, they'll do other songs. I mean, the album is only 12 songs, and they got to do
Right.
25.
Well, that's what I'm
So there's
saying.
going
Yeah.
to be So there's going to be 13, 14, 15 other songs, and hopefully they mix it up a little bit. But yeah, we're trying to think what's going to be the opening song, and the possibilities are "City of Blinding Lights," which is perfect for Vegas. It's a good opening song. "Where the Streets Have No Name" is probably the best opening song there could ever be in the history of opening songs.
Oh yeah, no
But
doubt.
but the dark horse, the song I kind of hope they open it up with, is a song off the Octung Baby album. The first song on the album is called Zoo Station. And it
Hmm.
was just, when it came out in 91, I mean, the sound was just 30 years ahead of its time. So it's actually caught up, but I think it would be a good opening song. But I think that's the dark horse. So I think, I mean, if me and JR had to wager, and
Well, right. I mean, it is the opener of the album, so I mean, it would make sense to do that.
right, but I think City of Blinding Lights is probably going to get the nod just because of the name of the song, and the sphere and the lights, and it's just apropos.
So all 25 dates are going to be centered around this anniversary of the album.
Yeah,
pretty much.
that's the theme.
So they may actually mix up the sets a little bit here and there, but they'll still do all 12 songs, and then whatever around that.
Yeah,
And you're getting to see the first two dates. That's sick.
yeah.
See that I would love to see the first dates anything, because the thing is, whether or not they fuck up and have mistakes and stuff, I like the rawness of the first dates or anything.
I'd rather see that. I'd rather see them screw up than most bands play their best. I mean,
No, I'm with you 100%. I like the rawness. I like the rawness and the mistakes and the fuck ups.
Unless they go too, like I said, too wimpy acoustic with that last the thing they put out. I mean,
They might do it. I mean, they have
no,
I mean,
I don't think they will, because of the theme. I think they'll stick to the theme, which is the Octung Baby.
they do one acoustic song, at least one acoustic song.
Well, some songs have to be acoustic.
Of course, you're right.
Like they'll probably do. Still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Yeah. So you do the album, and then you do the hits around that. That's
The hits
what you
around
do.
it, right.
Right. You have to do that.
Like we expect to hear. I will follow. Hopefully they play New Year's Day, my favorite song. They'll probably play Pride, and some of their other big classic songs that they do seem to do at every concert. I mean, if they do Bad, I mean, Bad live
Hmm.
is probably their best live song,
Hmm.
other than of course New Year's Day. But
Okay, so if you guys listen, following us on the YouTube page, I'm actually gonna share this now. You see that, Jack, the background, the video of the sphere. This is
there it
where
is,
they're
the
this
big
is where this is where they're playing actually, starting on Friday.
the sphere at the Venetian.
Look at this thing. This thing is gorgeous. Look at this thing. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
I mean, I'm blown away from 1,500 miles away. Wait till I actually get there. I'm going to be.
Where you? Is your hotel near? Is your hotel nearby this?
We're
Any
staying
chance?
there.
Oh,
We're staying at the Venetian.
this thing's amazing. Look at this thing.
So we'll be there, and he got the package. So we're going to get all the little you know treats and bells and whistles, and hopefully tours, and maybe we'll even bump into some influential people, and hopefully, and even from my days in radio, I bump into somebody hopefully I know that
Yeah.
may be able to get us to places that we otherwise wouldn't be able to get into. So we'll see. We'll see if my name still carries any weight. But it's been a long time.
No, this thing is gorgeous. Um, I don't know if have any events they're playing on here, music events, mostly in here, but man, I mean, this started building thing in 2018. I saw, obviously COVID put a halt on this.
Yep.
Um,
But it's
but
ready. It's
wow,
finished. I mean, I think they're in there rehearsing.
yeah,
Um, and there's no opening act, obviously. I don't know if you've been following JR's posts on
yes,
Facebook.
I have been following. Yeah,
So
day
so he
16, day this, yeah,
so we're in agreement that yeah, Bono's too much of a narcissist to let anybody else open up for them. So yeah, they're going to open the show. They're christening this baby. This is the sphere that Bono built.
yeah. This is incredible, and I'm really curious how it sounds there too. Especially you get the freshness of the building. You get the rawness of the band. This is the first two shows again. $2.3 billion to make this damn thing.
Right. Well,
18,600 in attendance for this thing.
yeah,
Wow.
and we just each bought new iPhone 15, so we're going to get
Oh my
the,
God.
the best possible recordings and pictures that we can from our brandy new iPhones. So and he's more proficient with the
Yeah.
phones than I am. So we'll get some good videos and good shots that we'll be able to share come this Friday and Saturday. And
And
from
this.
different
Mhm.
perspectives, because like I said, the first night we're in the club seats, which were kind of, we'll see how that goes. And then the second night, general admission, and he knows all the tricks, so we'll be right there. We'll be able to tell if Bono shaved that day.
I think I'm kind of curious though. Like their stage setup. Will it be like kind of like in the middle of the whole thing? Will it be like I'm the singer kind of thing? I'm kind of curious how to set up the stage for this one.
I
Kind of
haven't
curious.
I haven't looked yet, but from what I've seen, they showed like this video. It's almost like interactive. Like no matter where you're sitting in the place, it's gonna feel like you're right there.
So it says basically in the middle of the whole building.
Yeah,
Basically what Metallica does all the time. Metallica does the
yeah,
whole time. All
yeah.
their shows is like their shows are right dead smack in the middle of the stadium or the arena, no matter what the venue is. That's the best way, I think, because there's no bad seats. In other words,
Right. There's no
and the,
bad seats,
and the band could travel. The band could travel. Bono could travel around the entire perimeter of the stage, so
yeah,
can Edge and the drums on a riser and can move around a little bit. Same thing too.
and the entire inside is one big speaker. There's like 18,000 speakers. It's like all over the place. It's
Please,
insane. I
please
can't
take
even
videos for this shit. I'm
I
not now. I'm like I'm pumped up to see this shit
yeah.
now.
I can't even do it justice until I'm actually there physically in the building, and then even then I probably won't believe it when I'm
Right.
looking at it like how the hell. Yeah, it's going to be quite an event.
And this is your favorite album to do too, right? Your favorite album? Well,
Octoon Baby. Yeah, Catch Me on a Good Day. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on it I like. Mysterious Ways, Zoo Station,
yeah.
Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses, Till the End of the World.
Mm.
So yeah, they're gonna rock. I remember when that album came out in '91.
Hmm.
The first thing I thought to myself is, "Oh, good, they plugged their guitars back in." So because it's so different from Joshua Tree. I mean, a lot of people called it the second masterpiece, and
Yeah, that was like when they went a little more heavier, edgy. I guess
they were
edgier
they,
because I,
they
because
were
I would say the first two, Joshua Tree and before that was a little more in a poppier ish, maybe almost close to like '80s new age ish,
right.
new wave ish flavor. And then
'91, they went back to their roots.
the stuff in the '90s into the mid '90s is a lot more edgier, more rock, contemporary rock, kind of edgier than the stuff in the '80s. Definitely,
Yeah,
even if
Zoo
someone was
Station, The
right,
Fly. I mean, they were rocking.
right.
The Edge was rocking.
And it's definitely like different tiers of their music too. Like especially like okay, you can like the heavier stuff. It's kind of like Van Halen. Like you have like the Lee Roth stuff, that's a little more rock and pop. Kind of like the rock and roll and silly. And then you get Sammy Hagar, and you have like more straightforward, serious Van Halen. You know what I'm saying? And
Right, but the one thing that stayed intact was up until this show. It's been the four guys. There's been no
right,
changes in the band. Nobody's died. Nobody's been on the front page of the National
and that's
Enquirer.
rare. And that's
Strung
rare.
out on drugs. No,
That's
it's
the rare part.
the same four guys. Same four Irish brothers. So yeah, it'll be a little weird not seeing Larry. But Larry was always the quiet one anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see if this new drummer can keep the beat. We're optimistic.
Weren't that Christian men before?
I mean,
I always heard that growing up.
I mean, I think they're Irish Catholics, except for I think Adam's the Protestant of the group, but
Mm-hmm.
they made it work.
Right. No,
I mean, I
dude.
mean, I mean, I mean, I'm sure they're God fearing boys, and to their credit, they've managed to always say the right things. They're very politically correct.
Yeah. No, they've done a good job with PR and they've
Yes.
done a good job of keeping it within within the family and not going as you said, not going to the tabloids, not going to because look, Bono is a very interesting guy. He can be polarizing to some people, but
Oh,
he's not polarizing. But he's not polarizing to the point where outside of the front man, I'm the front man of a massive band, and that's it. It's polarizing within the music
no, he's
landscape. That's
very
it.
he's very savvy. Bono managed to master the business of the art and the art of the business. He gets
Right.
it. He gets it from both sides. So
And
that's why he's a very rich man. I think he's almost a billionaire. He's up there with
is he
McCartney.
really?
Oh yeah, he made some
Wow.
very solid investments. I think he had some. I think he has some Facebook stuff, some restaurants, and all sorts of stuff. Bono was smart with his money.
Hmm. Yeah. So hey, listen, take lots of pictures,
I will.
take lots of videos. You and Jared
I will.
both, please
Oh, I
post
will.
it, post away. Don't be greedy. Shit, don't be greedy. I want to see this shit because I'm
Yeah.
really I want to see how this thing plays out, man. Because man, if I could afford that, I would go to this shit honestly, seriously. Because now I'm pumped up for you. Now I'm pumped up now to see this thing.
I'm looking forward to it, and he's looking forward to it more than I am. I'm just kind of living through his eyes.
Yeah, yeah. He's the hardcore
He's
one, but
he's
he
he's become
travels.
yeah, he's become a bigger fan than I am. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm old school, where he's still,
But
he's still.
he said because of you. You didn't want to got him into it in the first place.
Oh, I brought him to his first concert when he was 9, and here he is 28 years later. He's now he's the guy bringing. It's come full circle. He's bringing
Right.
me
Yeah, that's great.
in tow. So yeah, we've almost reversed our positions on this. We're
How many times you seen him live now?
well, I don't know. He's the one who saves all his ticket stubs. If I had to guess, this is probably like 25 times
For
for him.
him, right?
He's probably right around there too. Although not 25 each together. We've gone with separate people
Right.
together, probably 11, 12, 13 times. And then separately, he's gone with his friends and whatnot. And I mean, I saw them in concert before he was born, at the old Boston Garden, with
Oh my gosh.
Little Steven Van Zandt opened up for
Wow.
him at the old Boston Garden before they tore that down. I remember seeing that show, Boston on St. Patrick's Day. So a lot of Irish in Boston. So
But there was air conditioners in Boston Garden, right? Because I mean, I've heard
yeah,
stories about.
yeah. Air conditioning and that and that funny smell.
I heard about that. I heard about the 40 smell there too. Also,
Yeah, that funny smell. I finally figured out what that was.
yeah.
It was.
But
It's
yeah,
not it's not oregano.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, please, um, post stuff, send me stuff. Trust me, I want to see how this thing plays out. Honestly,
We will keep you in the loop.
yeah. Before I let you go, want to talk Patriots quick? Patriots?
Who?
Have you been watching anything? Are you done in
No,
the past now?
my guy retired. I mean, who's their quarterback now?
Mac Jones.
You know,
He's not bad though. He's not bad.
I wish him well.
Belichick needs, and look, I have to give you credit for this too, because you were on this podcast after the Super Bowl loss to Philadelphia in 2018,
The one he gave away.
saying, and you, even with all the rings he's won,
Left
and
one on the table.
the ring he won after,
Yeah,
you still have been critical of the way he handled that situation with Malcolm Butler.
yeah. He left a ring on the table.
Yeah, yeah.
It's nice to have so many that you can just say, nah.
I don't need that
Somebody
one.
else
I have these 5.
Yeah, I don't need that one this bad. I want to prove a point. I don't need another ring. I want to prove a point.
Does it still burn you up? Does it still burn you up about that Super Bowl?
No, because there's 6 others, and then Brady won another one, which I kind of felt like was a cause for celebration too. So I had enough to cheer for 20 years. It'll get me through the rest of my life.
You did say though, like, and I remember you kept telling me this for even the last couple of years prior to Brady leaving for New England, that you had said that after Brady is done, I'm probably gonna be out.
I watch it kind of like, because I'm addicted. I got to do my fantasy football, but I watch football. I watch football differently now. I don't really have a main dog in the hunt anymore. I mean, my son just bought season tickets to the Dolphins, so I kind of, it's nice to see them being almost relevant. But I'm not going to be a Dolphin fan.
Okay.
But
I was saying,
but if I get sucked into going to a game, I mean, he's got tickets, and they got a decent team. It's scary. They just put up 70 points. So he picked the right year to be a Dolphins fan, maybe. But I'm not going to get into it.
Is it? So what is it? Okay, I remember you saying, again, you threatened that I'm done with it. Is it football? Because I think a lot of too much for you as well too, is that the game itself was starting to, in your opinion, you started not to enjoy some of the rule changes and this and that and whatnot. And
yeah, the rule, like I'm still not crazy about the 17 games.
Right. Right.
The stuff they've done with the kickoff.
Yeah.
And then, all the rules. I mean, they're 3 years away from becoming flag football. I mean, it's Canadian football as it is now. The running backs don't even hardly exist anymore.
Right.
What's the league going to look like in 3 years? It's going to be Canadian football. They might as well just put a 55-yard line in and, extend the end zones another 10 yards and play Canadian rules, because that's what it's coming down to.
So I can't call you Boston Jack Patriots fan anymore, or Boston Jack casual Patriot fan, I guess.
I mean, if you put me on the spot, yeah, if I look in the news, I'm going to see if the Patriots won first, but I'm just not as passionate as I was.
That's the difference. The passion part. It's not, you're not like, because I remember folks will probably remember this podcast, how we met. We used to work together years ago. And we met the year we played the Super Bowl, the first time.
07.
That was the 07. And
16 years, bro. We're getting old.
Did you start like literally that playoff run? Did you start literally like in the middle of the year there?
07. I don't know when.
No, I know it's 07, but I'm not sure when you started in the middle of the season, because it's amazing how like we watched that Super Bowl together, actually, because at the time we were all management at an old employer, my current employer still, and you were of course a massive Patriots fan. I'm a massive Giants fan.
Yep.
And that whole thing, this is the unbeaten season, of course. 18-0 going to it. And I met your son for the first time, JR, first time that night, actually, because our boss invited us, took all the managers out to watch the game at was it Duffy's? It was Duffy's,
Duffy's in the Village,
in the Village, right? And in West Palm Beach, and that was a strange night. I'm still stunned they won that game. I'm still stunned to win that game. I'm still stunned to win that game. When I watch that game still today, like in hindsight, I always wonder, is he going to catch the ball?
Yeah. Every time I keep thinking, oh, it's gonna hit the ground, it's gonna hit the ground. It never does.
And I thought you were going to hate me that day. After that day, I was like, oh, he's going to hate me.
You
We
really
weren't that close friends at that point either, too. We were like
no,
coworkers and we talked a little bit, but we weren't close friends.
no, we had just met, and I think the fact that we're still friends today is
Yeah.
because you didn't rub it in.
No, and JR
You were very respectful. You were a good winner.
JR actually was very also like shocked by that. I remember him telling me like, dude, I'm shocked you weren't a dick to me after that because I couldn't believe that because you guys were stunned at the loss. You guys were fucking like beyond stunned.
Well, yeah, that was I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, neither did I. I was happy. I was so sure we were gonna lose that game that I bought the New York Giants AFC Championship hat thinking that was our ceiling that year. Because you're not being look. We took the pass down to 3 points a month earlier on week 16 or week 17. Okay,
Yep.
Cool. We got there. Okay, we got as close as we could to beat them. We're not beating them a fucking month later in Glendale, Arizona. That's not happening.
Yeah, got to play the game though.
Yeah, and we became closer friends with that. This is crazy.
Absolutely, 16 years.
And then we beat y'all again.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, that one that's whatever. That was a whatever year, man. That's but yeah, I mean, I can see why the passion for it. People probably say you're a homer, right? Because you're not passionate because of the passion not good anymore. But you've been saying in the late aughts that you were getting sort of a little tired of the rule change and stuff. And at some point, once Brady's done, I'm out.
Yeah.
So it's not like you said you did it because of they're not winning anymore. It's more so that it was a combination of that, maybe not so much winning, but more so the game's changed. And you're right, the game has changed through the years.
Game's changed, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think the past this year they need a playmaker. I think that the defense is incredible. The defense is absolutely incredible. They should have beat Philadelphia, almost beat Miami. They are not bad. They remind me of the old 2001-02 Patriots. There's not a Brady, of course, but
right, and that's what it is. It's a long season; anything can happen. But I mean, Brady's he's a once in a lifetime, not even a once in a generation. He's a once in a lifetime type of player. We got 20 years out of it. They got spoiled. Mac Jones has some tough shoes to fill. I wish him well, but I just
that's some big shoes to fill, buddy.
I don't see how they get 10 wins.
Right. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, look, I think there's still space to make a wild card if they can play the cards right, but they have to play. They have to play perfect defense. Offense has to play mistake-free football going forward. And I don't know. I've been following the rest of the year though, like the rest of like KC and everything else. And
well, like I said, I have I have like 3 or 4 different fantasy football leagues because I love fantasy football. I got addicted. I'm hooked. So I do watch the games, for the stats. My favorite word, stats, to see who does what.
You want stats? That's right.
So I kind of, so I kind of watch it from afar. I mean, I still like the game, but I don't want to get sucked in. And hopefully no team or player or thing sucks me in, and I can just watch it from a fantasy football type of perspective and just have a little fun. Hope I win my fantasy football league, get my bragging rights, and go from there.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Look, it ain't gonna happen. However,
okay,
let's say the Pats go on a run this year, make the playoffs, and then some miracle they go to the Super Bowl this year. Are you back?
That's a lot of ifs. I mean,
but look, the NFL's it's a strange league sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Patriots fan first. I mean, that's my team. I mean, I'm from there, so it's not hard for me.
But does that revigorate the passion again? Is that?
It's not even close. It's not even close. I mean, I know the players on the team. Obviously, I know the coach. I know the history. I know the owner. To hear him give his 5 martini, we're all Patriots. I mean, to hear him give that speech. I mean, it would be fun to hear it again, but I wouldn't. I'm going to Vegas. I wouldn't bet on it.
No, definitely wouldn't bet on that. Although we get nice little value for that though. Just because if you had the money to throw away, just like, okay, let's throw $100 on the Patriots going to the Super Bowl, or at least going to win the AFC East, which is probably not happening either. But Anything is possible.
See
Anything
what
is
I can
possible.
see what I can turn my $10 into. Roll of quarters on the Patriots.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, man, enjoy your trip. As I said, give me some pictures and stuff and some videos, and I want to check us out, man. Jack, thanks for
Thanks,
coming on
buddy.
the podcast, man. I appreciate it, man.
Keep you in the loop. Good to see you, buddy.
Absolutely. You too, buddy.